Let's get it started in here. Hello, welcome back to another video. It's raining in LA, which is strange, but I embrace it. We need the water.
The plants are gonna love this.
Yeah. This was a Christmas present from my boyfriend Francisco.
I just want you for my own.
I'll just leave him up here. Thank you, Nicholas.
I love you. Thank you.
Because I want to stop being a potato and use my skills to provide a service for my community, I wanted to explore the idea of making deliveries on my motorcycle. I decided to sign up for DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats. I got waitlisted for DoorDash. Apparently there are too many drivers in my area already. Grubhub had a meltdown, but I got approved for Uber Eats. However, there's a problem with using my motorcycle. I learned that Uber Eats and a lot of other delivery service companies in the US don't let their drivers use motorcycles to make deliveries. Apparently in some areas it's allowed, but where I live, a rather busy metropolitan area, delivery drivers aren't allowed to use motorcycles. Come to think of it, I can't recall ever seeing a single motorcycle courier around here. What the fuck? Why is there a restriction on motorcycles for making deliveries? You're allowed to use a motorbike or an electric bike, and the only difference between those and a motorcycle is that a motorcycle has a higher top speed and a manual transmission, which I guess most people around here just don't like to use anymore. They prefer automatic. So you can use a two-wheel motorbike with a top speed of about 37 miles an hour, or a four-wheel car with a top speed of an average of 100 miles an hour, but you're not allowed to use a two-wheel motorcycle with a top speed of about 90 miles an hour, which is what I have. Does that make sense to you all? Because I'm not smart, I decided to consult Google for answers. The main reason for the restriction on motorcycles, at least for Uber Eats, seems to be that they don't want to pay more for the insurance that covers motorcyclists in the event of an accident. But how much more could the insurance be than for a car? Am I expected to believe that Uber Eats, a multi-billion-dollar company, can't afford motorcycle insurance for its drivers? Please leave a comment if you have any insight about motorcycle insurance rates for commercial use and why companies like DoorDash and Uber don't want to pay for this, or at least why motorcycles aren't allowed in certain areas in the US. Apparently Grubhub is cool with motorcycles in all areas, but I wasn't able to sign up with them at the time of recording this. I could be wrong, but I doubt that motorcycle insurance is astronomically more expensive than car insurance. At least for commercial use, which is what making deliveries falls under, because you're doing it for a business. But generally, motorcycle insurance is actually much lower than car insurance, at least for personal use. So it seems to me that these delivery service companies that restrict motorcycles are just greedy little bitches who don't want to pay for the extra insurance that would cover drivers who do want to use motorcycles. By not covering them, they're excluding a huge market, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Although to be fair, motorcycles are generally more at risk for collisions, especially in high traffic areas, which drives up the price of insurance. That's just how insurance works, I guess. So, fuck it. But what's not fair is that motorcycles still get a bad rap. Why aren't motorcycles more popular in America? In the rest of the world, people have embraced motorcycles and even allow lane splitting. In the US, California seems to be the only state that does it. Well, I think Montana does too. When I visited Mexico City last year, I saw people zipping around in motorcycles, making deliveries all over the damn place. They were comfortably cruising between lines of cars that were stuck in traffic, and I never saw a collision. Maybe it's just because that's Mexico and they give no fucks. But there's also a decent motorcycle culture here in the US, especially in Southern California. And for good reason. Here we have some of the best weather and the most scenic highways in the country. But even in Los Angeles, a city that provides some of the best conditions for motorcycles, except for the shitty cracked roads on like Fairfax Avenue, like what the fuck am I paying so much in taxes for? You only ever see a handful of motorcycles on the road. You'd think it'd be more popular. You know, I think some people still associate motorcycles with biker gangs and badass motherfuckers in general. Sure, bad biker gangs still exist. But there are also some cool philanthropic biker gangs out there too. Groups like Bikers Against Child Abuse or the guys from Pet Rescue. Anyway, the reason for this video is that I got frustrated because I'm not allowed to use my motorcycle for something as simple as delivering food to people. To me, it made sense to use a motorcycle for this kind of purpose because rather than a car, on a motorcycle, I'm using way less space on the road and in parking, and I'm using less gas. Plus, maintenance takes way less time than for a car. Because of these reasons, it only made sense to me, but I live in a car-dependent part of the world. The popular trend around here is to use electric cars to save gas. But there's an entire class of vehicles that also saves gas. And as I said before, motorcycles don't take up as much space as a car, and especially in a big city like Los Angeles, parking space is limited. Unless you need to travel with large amounts of cargo or with multiple people, It seems like a waste to use a whole ass car to deliver a small amount of stuff. But to be fair again, there are obvious benefits of using a car over a motorcycle, especially for delivering food. Cars provide shelter from the rain and the elements, they have more cargo space, and you can probably protect spillable food items a little better, things like drinks, soups, and ice cream sundaes. There's an article I found in RevZilla where the author describes his experience using his bike to make food deliveries. Overall, it may not be worth it for you to deliver food on a motorcycle, especially in the US, because you're probably not covered by the delivery service's auto insurance. So if you're using your bike, unless it's with Grubhub apparently, you may be doing it illegally. Fine, I'll stop getting mad. Luckily, my car was made after 1990, so if I do still want to make food deliveries, I can use my car and deliver for Uber Eats. It's something I can do to make some extra cash, which was the point of me starting all this anyway. So after getting pissed off that I can't use my motorcycle to make food deliveries, I started thinking about one question. Why are so many people afraid of motorcycles? I think it's a really fun and cool skill to have. Don't be a pussy boy. I'm kidding, calm down. I guess the main fear that most people have about riding motorcycles is that in the event of a crash, you're far less protected than if you were in a car. I can't argue with the truth. That's a legitimate fear and something that I think about every time I ride. When I'm out on the open road, on my bike, and I look at the other cars around me, I think, what if I just got creamed by this car right now? That could be the end of my life. But I think I would find peace knowing that I died doing something I love. Still, I would prefer not to die that way. Getting hit by a car and dying in traffic sounds like a horrific way to go. However, that fear is not enough to keep me off my motorcycle. So to minimize the risk of death, I take motorcycle safety very seriously. Because of that, I'm starting the process of getting CMSP certified as an instructor. And if you don't know, CMSP stands for California Motorcyclist Safety Program. Right now I'm enjoying my second week of part-time corporate employment. I don't work on Thursdays and Fridays anymore, so I'm using those days to focus on starting my training. This week I reached out to a local riding school to sponsor me, and I already got to shadow a class on the range. I've taken the class as a student, so I already kind of knew what to expect. By observing the class and helping the instructors set up the range, I got a taste of what the class would be like as a teacher instead of as a student. One of the instructors I met said she loved her job and she let me know some things that I should expect while going through training. Sounds like it'll be intense and I have to get better at public speaking, but I welcome those challenges. I'm excited to see what comes next and to start getting certified, hopefully soon. I think I would love the job because it involves teaching people a skill that's too often stigmatized in American society. Yes, it can be scary on the road, but when you equip yourself with knowledge and hours of practice, your risk of death goes way down. Aside from gravel, most of the dangers on the road are the idiots in cars. People say motorcycles are reckless, but what I think is truly reckless is someone driving with a phone in their hand. These people need a sticker on their car that says, "I'm an inconsiderate asshole who texts and drives." Just as a warning to the rest of us who want to get to our destination quickly and safely. Like, what the fuck are you doing? If you're using your phone for anything other than navigating while driving a car, you're a menace to society. Stop it.
Get some help.
It pisses me off every time, and I see it a lot. If people paid more attention to the road in front of them and to the other vehicles around them, and less time on their fucking phones, then I think less motorcyclists would be dead. Alas, we cannot control what other drivers do. The best we can do is educate ourselves and learn procedures on how to avoid the dumbasses on the road. Isn't that right, Nicholas?
That's all you have to do!
So, my goal is to become one of those educators. And right now, that seems to be the only way I can get paid to ride my motorcycle. Not only will I be teaching other people how to ride, but I will become a better rider myself because I'll be immersed in a curriculum that I can continue to learn from. It'll probably take a little while to get the ball rolling on the certification process because there's a lot of paperwork and classes that I have to take, but I'm excited to take this next step in my professional life. I've also taken a part-time job delivering cannabis in my car. As a delivery driver, the pay is obviously lower than my other job, like less than half of my corporate hourly rate, but I think it'll be enjoyable for me. I love driving and I love weed, so I found a way to put them together without doing anything illegal. Plus, I figured delivering cannabis is better than delivering food. I don't have to worry about anything getting cold or spilled during transportation, and people love weed. Who knows, maybe they'll even let me use my motorcycle to make deliveries if I ask them, because I feel like you don't need a whole ass car to deliver small containers of marijuana. So far, I'm excited about taking on different kinds of part-time jobs to fill my time. Who knows, I might even have to quit my corporate job a little sooner than I expected, which makes me nervous and excited, and a little guilty for leaving my creative team. However, I have to follow my heart and cut out the parts of my life that aren't fulfilling to me. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now. I'm working on another video that may take more time to make, so thank you for your patience, thank you for watching, and I'll see you. Okay, bye. I need to make a motherfuckerly face for the thumbnail. Bitch. Like, girl. Really?